Well, check out all this stuff, everyone. Is Dad a handyman or a gardener or a gadget junkie or all of the above, or does he just want to get organized? Well, we've got tips for him and all kinds of great things, and then we're going to get you all ready for monsoon. We have Brad Samero with Ace Hardware. Good to see you.
Nice to see you again, Jen.
Thank goodness you brought the warehouse.
I did. I brought a little bit because the monsoon kicks on Friday. According to the calendar, it's already June 15th.
Already? Well, let's start with that. What have you got?
First thing I want to talk is a little bit about safety. The reason I have the tub and shower faucet is when it's lightning, stay away from water and stay out of the bath. Just kind of a practical thing. Make sure your first aid kit is ready. And then what I do is to make sure that my house is ready if you lose power, I try to have some food and water, enough water, 3 gallons per person per day, plus Fido, and some snacky things that you don't in case you've lost power.
3 gallons a day, and what kind of food do you suggest?
I've got non-perishables and things like that. Cold soup is something we ate in Boy Scouts, and there's nothing wrong with it if you've lost power in the house.
Especially with the pop top.
Especially with a pop top, or you can have a non-powered can opener.
Okay.
I always have a Leatherman on my belt just because of the nature of what I do, but it's also a real convenient tool for getting into things that you might need to fix.
And you're a real guy.
I try.
Guys have Leatherman. That's
you also need to be aware of things because you may be without power. This year I brought the hand crank radio that gets you the weather alert radio flashlight. So you crank it by hand and it gets all the power in it.
What a great idea.
Also extra batteries. The other thing that we do inside our house is we have batteries in every room in the house during the monsoon, the bigger ones by the garage and things like this. I try a way to stay away from candles during this season. They can be a fire hazard, especially if you've lost power for quite a bit of time.
I'm a big believer in the lithium batteries. They just last long, and you can always count on them too. A little bit more expensive, but well worth it.
And it's a great thing.
Yeah.
Also protect your electronics. So you want to get a surge suppressor. Of course, the best thing to do is unplug your computer or your HD TV. But if you want, you can get a surge suppressor on there. So that gets you ready for the inside of the house. The Red Cross has all kinds of things to get ready for home safety for the monsoon.
Oh, great. You've got
we also want to get our yard
hardware
ready.
Here.
So I brought some things. I brought a little axe to play with, but we also want to trim our trees with things like this bow saw, these lopping shears, and things like that. Trees that are close to your house. There's a lot of great information in the University of Arizona Extension site.
Well, and you make sure they're pruned properly and they won't blow over.
And speaking of extensions, if you've got a neighbor who won't touch trimming their trees with a 10-foot pole, I've got this 12-foot pole just for that neighbor. And
it really works.
And it's perfect for them, and it gets the top of the trees. What this does is you can unscrew it like this and get the extension all the way up, and then you put the bow in there, you've got the string down there, and what it does is it goes in between the blades and it cuts the smaller branches, about as big as your pinky finger.
Pretty brilliant.
It is. It's a really neat invention. Then the other thing that you want to do is if you have some small tender trees, you want to get a kit to do that. Better yet, if you've got some bigger ones, you take green stakes like this, hog wire, that would be the technical term for it, run it through there, run it around the tree so you don't damage the tree with heavy wire, and voila, and you're able to better stake your trees that'll help last through the monsoon. So
that's for staking it, and it's also giving it a little bit of sway, which is really important.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And if you've got an Arizona flat roof in the old-fashioned parts of town, you'll want to take good care of it, along with the slope roofs that we have. The forever roofs last forever, but the underlayers don't. So if you haven't had a home inspection or a roof inspection in 10 years, I'd recommend doing that.
So you've got 3 days to do it and 2 days to let it dry, and then the monsoon.
And then you're ready. And of course, you'll always need to address your pool if it gets full of stuff.
Oh boy.
And it's one of those things that you're going to be running it all the time.
Don't remind me. Now.
Grills.
Grills. You got to have a grill for Father on Father's Day.
We do. And right here you can see some of the different things, from the old-fashioned charcoal grill for the flavor, the Weber kettle. I still have one that's 20 years old that lasts. We have big, bigger, and biggest to get that authentic charcoal flavor. This little patio top model like that works wonderfully for the smaller areas. You can also look at some of these electronic or gas. These gas model powered ones run in those little 1-pound bottles, and the portability makes it last just right for that pregame tailgate party or the Little League party that you're going to have during the All-Star season coming up.
Plus, those are really cool looking.
And it's absolutely perfect. Then, of course, for those that like smoked meats, we've got this pellet smoker, and in something like that, or the old-fashioned barrel smoker, you can do all kinds of things. I do all kinds of smoking on my patio. The barrel smoker is a little bit more compact than the bigger one you see there.
How fun.
It's also a really good way to do that. And then we have better, best, best in the propane and natural gas grills. My personal favorite is this Weber Genesis in the designer color because it matches the patio furniture my wife has selected. Got a little bit of storage underneath. It gets hot enough to do all the right things, and it's got all the features of a great Weber kettle.
So you've got
a great Weber grill.
You've got the grills covered, no doubt. What about tools? You've got to have tools.
Every guy's got to have tools. We have tool bags like this. We have tool boxes. Ace Hardware is home to Craftsman tools. So for the craftsman in your home on Father's Day, it's perfect to get that. Last year, under my tree was this 3/8" drill driver. This year I've got my eye on the 12 volt compact drill for all those little home projects that folks do.
Have you been a good boy?
I have been a good boy, and I'm hoping that's what my kids get me.
All right, Brad, thank you so much. All sorts of great stuff. And for more information, everyone, you can go to, to find the nearest Ace, go to acehardwarephoenix.com/DIY.